Okay, tonight we're going to make some stir fry. We're going to need these two things. That little cheap 25-cent pack of ramen noodles and grilled chicken breast dices. I got these at Kroger. You also need some oil, soy sauce, and seasoning. I'll show you what I'm using. This sweet soy sauce for rice. I'm going to use a little bit of that, some garlic powder, cornstarch, oil, and also some regular soy sauce. So you can also Google for a recipe for, stir fry sauce. But if you're interested in how I'm about to put this together, keep watching. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is open the package of noodles, discard the flavor packet, and then put the noodles in a bowl. You hear the water running. What I'm going to do next is cover these noodles with very hot tap water and then let it sit and soften while we do the rest. Okay, cover the noodles. We're going to let those rest. I broke mine in half, so we're just going to let that sit and soften. Okay, so I've got my skillet out. I put about 1/4 cup of water in there, and I put the amount of chicken that I plan on using for the stir fry. So I'm going to cook these. It's only going to take maybe 10 minutes or so. I'm going to also, at this point, add some optional seasoning, just salt and pepper and garlic. Okay, so I've added the seasoning, salt and pepper with the chicken, and then I'm just going to put some minced garlic in there. I add garlic in everything. You don't have to, it's optional. So I'm just going to throw that in there, and then we're going to let this cook. I will stir it occasionally. I'm going to cover it, and so this should be done in about 10 minutes. Okay, this is almost done. I'm going to remove it from the heat. Not almost done, this is done. I'm just going to remove it from the heat and set it aside and get going on the broccoli. Broccoli has been added to the same skillet that the chicken was in. I just used frozen broccoli from Kroger. We're going to cook this until it softens just a little bit, and then we'll keep going. I'm using the exact same skillet that I cooked the chicken in. And you can see the garlic in there. It didn't come out when I dumped the chicken. It's just fine. We'll cook it all together. Right here you can also add salt and pepper to taste. Okay, the broccoli, so pretty, and because I don't like soggy vegetables, I'm going to go ahead and start my sauce now. This has been cooking just for a couple of minutes. I'm going to use this light soy sauce, and like I showed earlier, the sweet soy sauce for rice. The reason I'm doing that is because I don't want it overly sweet, but I do want to use the sweet soy sauce for rice. So I'm going to mix the two and make the sauce. So I'm going to do this by eye. Of course, you may not want this much sauce, and of course go with low sodium if you're watching your salt intake. And then we're going to add the sweet soy sauce for rice as well. So I still have it on medium. Now I'm going to add the sweet soy sauce for rice. I'm just going to, again, depending on how much noodles you use or how much sauce you like, when you cook, kind of play it by eye, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to stir this until it's all coated. Okay, the soy sauce has been added, and the sweet soy sauce for rice also. Because I didn't want it overly sweet, I've mixed the two. Of course, do it to your liking, but I'm going to let this, I'm just going to continue to stir it for a little bit, let it coat the broccoli, and then we're going to drain the noodles and finish this dish. It's a good idea to taste it right here, because you may want it more sweet, you may want it more tangy, you may want to add some spice. You can always add red pepper flakes. I'm going to add a little cornstarch to thicken this up just a little bit. And after I stir this through, I'm going to drain the noodles, and then we are going to combine everything together. Okay, let's add the noodles. And we're also going to add the chicken back in. We're going to stir and incorporate this, and then we'll be ready to eat. As you can see, everything is nicely incorporated. So I'll just let it sit here just for a couple of minutes. Let me hear it bubble again now that everything's in there. And that's just my own personal preference because remember, I didn't cook the broccoli until it was soft, so it still has a little crunch to it. And because I like my noodles to be fully coated, I use the right amount of sauce. If you're not a big fan of soy sauce, sorry about the angle, if you're not a big fan of soy sauce, then you probably want to reduce the soy sauce. Maybe sprinkle in some brown sugar or some rice wine vinegar, mix it all up a little bit. But again, you can Google different sauces for stir fries, but this is how I'm going to eat mine. Alright, this is done. Let's plate it up. And just like that, dinner is served. 15-20 minutes tops.